Far beyond the edge of civilization, where winter never truly ends, lies a land frozen in silence, Siberia. A place so vast it could swallow entire nations, yet so quiet that you can hear the wind whisper through the snow like an ancient spirit. Temperatures here drop so low that steel shatters, trees explode, and the air itself feels alive, biting, breathing, watching. But within this frozen heart of the world lies a story that's both haunting and beautiful. Siberia is not just cold, it's mystical. Beneath its endless white plains lie secrets of the past, mammoths perfectly preserved in ice, untouched forests older than human memory, and villages where people have learned to dance with the frost instead of fighting it. It's a place where the northern lights shimmer like dreams, painting the night sky in colors that only exist here: green, violet, gold, reflections of a world untouched by time. Yet, beyond its frozen beauty, Siberia holds a quiet power, a reminder of how small we are against the forces of nature. Here, survival isn't just a challenge, it's a way of life. Every breath is a victory. Every sunrise, a miracle. Tonight, close your eyes and let this icy journey calm your thoughts. Imagine the snow falling softly outside a wooden cabin, the sound of crackling fire echoing through the frozen silence. Let Siberia's cold winds carry your mind into stillness, into peace, where even the harshest winter feels warm in the heart. In the vast and silent stretches of northern Asia lies a realm of unimaginable size and power, a land where the cold is not merely a season, but a way of life. This is Siberia, the frozen heart of our planet, the endless wilderness that stretches from the Ural Mountains in the west to the Pacific Ocean in the east. Covering more than 5 million square miles, it is larger than the United States, yet home to only a handful of people scattered across its remote expanse. Here, the cold is more than a sensation. It is a force that shapes the landscape, defines survival, and humbles the human spirit. The Siberian air carries a purity that few places on Earth can match: crisp, dry, and sharp, slicing through even the thickest coats, reminding every traveler that nature still rules here. When winter arrives in Siberia, it comes not as a guest, but as a monarch. Temperatures plunge to astonishing depths: -50, -60 degrees Celsius, numbers so extreme that they defy comprehension. In the village of Oymyakon, known as the coldest inhabited place on Earth, the thermometer once touched -71.2 degrees Celsius, a temperature so fierce that the moisture in your breath freezes before it hits the ground. Vehicles must be kept running even when parked, or their engines will turn solid within minutes. Eyelashes frost in seconds. The sound of footsteps becomes muffled under powdery snow that never melts. And yet, amid this unimaginable cold, life continues, calm, deliberate, and deeply adapted to the rhythm of the ice. Siberia is not merely a place of suffering. It is also a place of striking beauty. Under the pale blue light of the Arctic sun, the snow glitters like crushed diamonds. Forests of larch and pine stand tall, their branches heavy with frost, creating cathedrals of silence. Rivers like the Lena and the Yenisei lie frozen for months, turning into silver highways for travelers and herders. The stillness here is so complete that you can hear your own heartbeat, and the soft rustle of the wind weaving through the trees like an ancient song. At night, the sky becomes a living canvas. The aurora borealis, or northern lights, dances above the tundra in waves of green, violet, and gold, a silent, cosmic ballet that makes even the harshest winter feel almost sacred. But beneath this icy calm lies a deeper story, one written over millions of years. Siberia is ancient, carved by glaciers, molded by volcanic fire, and shaped by the slow march of time. Beneath its permafrost rest the remains of mammoths, woolly rhinoceroses, and other long-extinct creatures preserved in ice like time capsules. Scientists who study them say Siberia is not merely cold, it is frozen history. The land itself holds clues to the ice ages, to early human migration, and to the evolution of life in extreme conditions. Each layer of soil, each frozen riverbank, tells a story of endurance, not just of nature, but of humanity's resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. And yet, despite all this harshness, the people of Siberia endure with quiet grace. From the indigenous Yakut and Evenki communities to the descendants of settlers who arrived centuries ago, life here flows in harmony with the land. Wooden cabins glow with the warmth of firelight. Tea steams in metal cups as families gather near crackling stoves, their laughter mingling with the soft howl of the wind outside. Dogs curl beside the door. The rhythm of life follows the snow, long, dark winters followed by brief, bright summers where wildflowers bloom across the tundra like bursts of forgotten color. It's a world both harsh and peaceful, where survival becomes a kind of poetry. Siberia teaches us something profound, that even in the most unforgiving environments, life finds balance. It reminds us of the fragility and the strength of our species, of our ability to adapt, endure, and find beauty even in isolation. As the wind sighs through the endless forests and snow drifts whisper against the wooden walls of distant villages, one realizes that this cold is not the enemy. It is a teacher, ancient, silent, and wise. And as you listen to the sound of your breath mingling with the frozen air, a strange calm settles within. The world slows down. The noise fades. Only stillness remains, vast, white, and when you first look at Siberia from above, it seems lifeless, an endless expanse of white and gray, stretching beyond the horizon. The snow covers everything like a great sleeping blanket, hiding the secrets of the land beneath. But life here, though quiet, is never absent. It lives in silence, in stillness, in adaptation. Under the thick layers of frost and permafrost, a hidden world breathes, slow, resilient, and astonishingly diverse. Siberia's frozen face is only a mask. Beneath it lies one of the most remarkable ecosystems on Earth. The rivers of Siberia, the Ob, the Yenisei, and the Lena, are like frozen veins running through a body of ice. For most of the year, they lie still, imprisoned under meters of snow and frost. Yet even when the surface freezes solid, the water below continues to move, dark, cold, and full of life. Fish like sturgeon, grayling, and Arctic char glide through the undercurrents, their bodies built for survival in temperatures that would freeze a human instantly. When spring finally arrives and the rivers break open, these waters roar to life, carrying with them the thawed essence of a continent. Villages come alive again as people fish, travel, and reconnect with the land that sustains them. The thaw is short, but it's a time of renewal. The earth taking a deep breath after months of frozen silence. Siberia's forests, too, hold their own kind of magic. Known as the taiga, this is the largest forest on Earth, a sea of conifers that stretches farther than the eye can see. Pine, spruce, and larch dominate the landscape, their needles forming an evergreen armor against the cold. Beneath them, snowshoe hares leave faint trails, lynxes move like shadows, and reindeer wander in slow, graceful herds. In the farthest reaches of the taiga, the mighty Siberian tiger prowls, the largest cat on Earth. It is an animal of silence and strength, perfectly adapted to this frozen empire. Each step it takes is deliberate, each movement fluid and patient, a living embodiment of the balance between danger and beauty that defines this land. High above, the snowy owl watches from its perch, a guardian of the tundra, white as the snow itself. Its gaze is ancient, its flight nearly soundless. In the night sky, the aurora borealis dances once more, casting green light over frozen plains where wolves prowl and Arctic foxes burrow into snow dens for warmth. The fox's fur changes color with the seasons, white in winter, gray in summer, a natural camouflage that mirrors the Earth's own shifting moods. Everything in Siberia lives according to the rhythm of cold and light, adapting in ways that seem almost supernatural. Even trees have learned to bend instead of break, growing low and twisted to survive the punishing winds. But the most mysterious life of all lies beneath the permafrost, the layer of Earth that has remained frozen for thousands, even millions, of years. Scientists drilling deep into Siberian ice have found something astonishing. Microscopic organisms, frozen for tens of thousands of years, suddenly coming back to life when thawed. Tiny ancient bacteria, perfectly preserved in ice, awaken as though time itself had paused for them. Some are harmless. Others are completely unknown to modern science. These discoveries make Siberia not just a landscape, but a time capsule. A frozen library of Earth's biological history, containing the DNA of species long vanished and the silent memory of epochs past. The thawing permafrost has also revealed creatures of myth and memory, woolly mammoths, their bodies preserved so perfectly that scientists can still see their fur, their tusks, even the food in their stomachs. One such discovery in Yakutia stunned the world: a mammoth calf, frozen for over 40,000 years, looking as though it had only just fallen asleep. These remains tell a story of a time when Siberia was not only cold but alive with creatures that shaped human imagination. Every new find, a tooth, a bone, a strand of hair, connects us to an ancient world we barely understand. Beneath the ice, Siberia holds not just fossils, but memories as you imagine standing on this frozen ground. The wind brushing softly against your face, you can almost feel the presence of time itself, stretching far beyond human life. The snow crunches under your boots, and the silence feels infinite. Yet, in that silence, there's movement, a whisper of energy, a quiet persistence of life beneath the frost. Even in winter's deepest darkness, the earth continues to pulse here. The roots of trees dig deep into frozen soil. Small insects burrow beneath layers of snow, waiting for the sun's return. Life, fragile and unseen, survives in a delicate balance, and when the first warmth of spring touches Siberia, it feels like a miracle. The snow melts slowly, revealing dark soil and hidden streams. The rivers awaken, ice cracking like thunder, sending shards downstream in a gleaming procession. The air changes, the cold remains, but it softens, filled with the scent of pine and wet earth. Birds return, singing softly into the endless light. For a brief time, Siberia transforms, from a world of silence into a world of renewal. The landscape glows under the golden sun, and wildflowers bloom across the tundra like scattered stars. It's a fleeting beauty, lasting only a few weeks before the frost begins to reclaim its throne. But in those few weeks, the land remembers what warmth feels like. It breathes again. To live in Siberia is to understand the art of patience. It teaches you that everything, even life itself, can endure under the weight of time and cold. It shows that silence is not emptiness but depth, and that stillness is not lifelessness but calm persistence. As you listen to the distant rumble of a thawing river or the faint howl of wolves across the plain, you begin to see the beauty hidden in the frozen heart of the world. Siberia does not ask to be conquered. It asks to be respected, to be listened to be understood. Beneath its ice, it holds the memory of Earth's past, and perhaps the quiet blueprint of its future. To live in Siberia is to live within silence, not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of balance. Across this vast frozen world, scattered among the valleys, forests, and tundra, are communities who have made peace with the cold. For centuries, they have lived where others would not dare to settle, in small wooden villages surrounded by forests, or in nomadic tents pitched on the open steppe. Their lives are not defined by what they lack, but by what they have learned to endure. They are the guardians of a world where survival itself has become a quiet art. The Yakut, the Evenki, the Nenets, and dozens of other indigenous peoples have lived in Siberia for thousands of years. They know the rhythm of the seasons better than any clock. They know when the reindeer will move, when the rivers will freeze, when the wind will shift. Their knowledge is not written in books, but passed through stories, songs, and the slow teaching of experience. A Yakut elder might tell a child how to read the frost on a window, how to find warmth in the snow, how to listen to the voice of the forest. These lessons are simple, yet they carry the weight of generations. In a land where the temperature can kill, wisdom becomes the fire that keeps life burning in the long nights of winter. When the darkness stretches for months, villages glow like islands of light. Inside wooden cabins, stoves crackle with birch wood, filling the air with the scent of smoke and pine. Families gather close, sharing food, stories, and silence. Outside, the snow falls endlessly, soft and slow, muffling every sound. The world seems frozen in time, a painting of peace and endurance. The warmth inside is not just from fire, it comes from togetherness, from the unspoken bond between people who know that survival depends on community. Here, kindness is not optional, it's a necessity. A shared fire, a shared meal, or even a shared word can mean the difference between comfort and despair. The clothing of Siberia's people is a work of quiet genius. Crafted from fur, leather, and wool, every garment is both art and armor. The reindeer fur coats worn by the Nenets can withstand temperatures below -50 degrees Celsius. Boots are made from tanned hide, lined with moss and wool to trap warmth. Every layer has purpose. Nothing is wasted, nothing is unnecessary. The people who live here have become architects of endurance, designing not only shelter, but an entire way of life built from adaptation. Their tools, sleds, and tents reflect generations of intimate knowledge with the land. Even the dogs, bred for strength and loyalty, are companions in survival. The famous Siberian husky, with its thick fur and bright blue eyes, is more than a pet. It's a partner, a friend that helps pull sleds across snowfields where no human could walk alone. In this frozen land, food becomes sacred. Everything that sustains life is earned through patience and respect for nature. People hunt, fish, and gather only what they need. Fresh meat is frozen in the open air, lasting for months. Fish are caught through holes cut into the ice, pulled up glistening and cold. Berries and herbs are preserved during the short summer, kept for the long winter nights. Meals are simple: boiled fish, dried meat, hot tea, yet deeply satisfying. In the stillness of Siberia, even the smallest act of nourishment feels profound. Eating, resting, breathing, all are acts of gratitude toward the land that gives and takes in equal measure. The people of Siberia have also built a deep spiritual connection with their environment. In many indigenous beliefs, nature is alive. Every river, every tree, every animal has a spirit. The wind is a voice. The snow carries memory. The fire speaks through its crackle. Shamans, often seen as healers and spiritual guides, serve as the bridge between the human and the natural world. Their rituals are slow, rhythmic, and deeply tied to the cycles of the earth. When a storm approaches, a shaman might burn herbs or whisper to the wind, not to control it, but to honor it. To live here is to respect the unseen, the quiet power that moves through all things. Yet life in Siberia is not only about tradition, it's also about adaptation. Modern towns like Yakutsk, Norilsk, and Magadan are proof that human resilience has no limit. In Yakutsk, the coldest city on Earth, buildings are constructed on stilts to prevent them from sinking into the thawing permafrost. Pipes are insulated, cars are kept running for days, and schools close only when temperatures fall below -52 degrees Celsius. People walk slowly, bundled in layers, their eyelashes frozen into tiny icicles. And yet, life moves on. Markets open, children play, music drifts softly from open windows. Even in -60 degrees Celsius, humanity finds a way to smile. The cold becomes background music, ever present, but no longer frightening. The rhythm of Siberian life follows a pattern that is both harsh and harmonious. When the short summer arrives, people move quickly. They harvest, repair, travel, and prepare. It's a time of color and light, when the sun barely sets, and flowers cover the tundra like a dream. Reindeer graze under endless daylight. Rivers flow free and fast. For a few precious weeks, the cold loosens its grip, and the land breathes deeply. Then, as the days shorten, the cycle begins again. The winds sharpen. The lakes freeze. The long sleep of winter returns. It's a cycle as old as the earth itself, and the people of Siberia have learned to move with it, never against it. What is most remarkable about Siberia's people is not their struggle, but their serenity. They do not fight the cold, they coexist with it. They have learned to find beauty in the frost, rhythm in the silence, and joy in simplicity. A warm cup of tea, a shared laugh, the sound of snow crunching underfoot. These moments, small and quiet, are the heartbeat of life here. To an outsider, Siberia might seem lonely, but to those who belong to it, it is home, vast, powerful, and peaceful. Night, as the stars scatter across the sky like shards of ice, the villages fall silent again. The world outside freezes, but inside, the stoves glow with gentle warmth. Somewhere, a dog barks softly. The wind hums against the walls. A sense of deep calm settles over everything, the kind of peace that can only exist in places untouched by noise and hurry. In Siberia, time slows until it almost stops. And in that stillness, people have found something rare, a way to live not apart from nature, but within it. There are few places on Earth that hold such raw, untouched majesty as Siberia. It is a land sculpted by ice and time, by wind and silence. Every mountain, river, and forest seems to whisper ancient stories, stories of fire and frost, of creation and endurance. The deeper one travels into Siberia, the more the world transforms. It becomes wilder, older, almost otherworldly, as if you are stepping backward through the ages into the Earth's quiet beginnings. It is here, in this boundless wilderness, that some of the planet's greatest natural wonders lie hidden, waiting beneath snow and shadow for the rare traveler who dares to listen. At the heart of this frozen kingdom lies Lake Baikal, the pearl of Siberia. It is not only the world's deepest lake, plunging over 1,600 meters into the earth, but also one of its oldest, estimated to be around 25 million years in age. Baikal holds more water than all the Great Lakes of North America combined, and yet its clarity is so pure that you can see the pebbles resting on the lake bed even through thick ice. In winter, Baikal becomes a world of crystal. The surface freezes into translucent sheets so clear they seem like glass, fractured by veins of blue that stretch for miles. Beneath that ice, tiny bubbles of ancient air glisten, trapped like jewels from another age. Travelers who walk across the frozen lake say it feels like stepping on a living mirror, every crack and creak echoing like the heartbeat of the earth itself. But Baikal's beauty is more than surface deep. It is home to thousands of species found nowhere else in the world, from the graceful Baikal seal, the only freshwater seal on Earth, to the tiny transparent episcuroplankton that keep the lake clean. In the quiet summer months, the lake shimmers under soft sunlight, surrounded by mountains draped in green. Fishermen cast their nets from wooden boats, monks chant in remote monasteries, and travelers rest by the shore, lulled by the sound of gentle waves. And when winter returns, everything changes again. The ice thickens, the air grows sharp, and the lake begins its long hibernation beneath the stars. Even frozen, it never sleeps. It breathes through the cracks, groaning and shifting, like a giant dreaming beneath the snow. Beyond Baikal, the landscapes of Siberia unfold in endless variety. In the Kamchatka Peninsula, volcanoes rise like ancient guardians, more than 300 of them, some still alive with fire beneath the frost. Steam vents hiss through the snow, and geysers erupt in sudden bursts of heat, a reminder that beneath all this ice, the Earth's heart still burns. The contrast is almost surreal, boiling springs beside frozen rivers, life blooming in the middle of desolation. Kamchatka is a place where opposites meet, fire and ice, silence and roar, death and rebirth, all existing in harmony. For scientists, it's a living laboratory. For travelers, it's a dreamscape of extremes. In the Yakutian tundra, the land is flatter, quieter, but equally mesmerizing. Here, diamonds lie buried deep beneath the ground, remnants of ancient volcanic eruptions that carried them to the surface millions of years ago. The Mirny mine, one of the largest man-made holes on Earth, sits like a massive scar in the landscape, a testament to human determination to uncover the Earth's hidden treasures. Yet, even with all its wealth, the tundra remains indifferent to mankind's ambition. When blizzards sweep across the plains, the mines, machines, and men vanish into white silence. The land always reclaims its peace. Further north, the Arctic Siberia reveals a harsher beauty still. Endless tundra, frozen seas, and skies that stretch into infinity. Here, the aurora borealis performs its nightly dance. Waves of green and purple light ripple across the heavens, moving as if alive. To those who witness it, the experience is beyond words, a celestial symphony, silent but deeply felt. Indigenous Siberians have long seen the northern lights as messages from the ancestors, the spirits of the departed speaking through color and light. To watch them shimmer above the snow is to feel both small and infinite at once. Caught between the earth and the cosmos, as you travel deeper, the silence of Siberia becomes a presence of its own. It isn't emptiness, it's a vast, breathing quiet that absorbs every thought, every sound. Even the animals seem to move differently here. Reindeer walk in perfect stillness. Foxes step without a sound. The snow muffles everything, creating a world where time itself feels slowed. In this silence, one begins to understand what makes Siberia so hauntingly beautiful. It is untouched. It has not been conquered by concrete or chaos. It remains as it has been for millennia, patient, mysterious, alive in its stillness. There are other wonders hidden here, too. Frozen waterfalls that glisten like glass sculptures, vast ice caves where blue light glows like fire, and forests that vanish beneath meters of snow only to reappear in spring like ghosts returning from another world. In summer, when the sun barely sets, fields of wildflowers bloom across the tundra, painting the white plains with soft colors, lavender, yellow, pink. For a moment, the cold land turns gentle, and the world feels reborn. But even then, the mountains stand watch. The air remains crisp, and the spirit of the frost never fully leaves. Siberia is a land of paradoxes, both harsh and tender, silent yet full of stories, empty yet overflowing with life. Every mountain ridge and frozen lake carries a sense of eternity, reminding us how small and temporary we are compared to the planet's slow rhythm. And yet, in that vastness, there is peace. The cold teaches humility. The quiet teaches awareness. Standing in Siberia's wilderness, under a sky filled with light, one feels a kind of surrender, not of defeat, but of belonging. The realization that we are not separate from nature, but part of its endless breath. As night falls over the tundra, the stars emerge again, sharp, bright, and countless. The air is so clear you can almost hear them. Somewhere in the distance, the faint cry of a wolf echoes through the snow. The wind carries it softly across the plains, weaving it into the great quiet of the north. It's a sound both lonely and comforting, a reminder that life continues even in the deepest silence. Beneath the aurora's glow, Siberia rests, immense, ancient, and unchanging. It waits, as it always has, holding its mysteries beneath layers of frost and time.